disturbing me. I would much rather talk than write. Here I am day after day, haunted by one thought. I must write. I must write. I must write. This is my study, the room in which I write my stories. I'm happy here, although I don't get enough visitors to suit me. People tend to shy away from writers. They assume we're always busy thinking. Not true. Even my dear sweet mother doesn't like to disturb me, so she tiptoes up here and leaves my food outside the door. I haven't had a hot meal in years. I've done a good deal of writing here. Perhaps too much. I look out the window and think that life is passing me at a furious rate. So I ask myself the question, what force is it that compels me to write so incessantly? Day after day, page after page, story after story. And the answer is quite simple. I haven't a choice. I'm a writer. I am a writer. Sometimes I think I may be mad. Well, I'm quite harmless. Although I do admit to fits of wandering. I'm engaged in conversations where I hear nothing, see only the silent movement of lips, answer meaningless. Yes, of course. And all the time I'm thinking, I'll make a wonderful character for a story, this one. Still, while I'm writing, I enjoy it, and I like reading the proofs, but as soon as it comes in print, I can't bear it. I see that it's all wrong, a mistake, that it ought never to have been written, and I'm miserable. And then the public reads it. Charming, clever, but a far cry from Tolstoy, or a fine thing, but Turgenev's Fathers and Sons was better. And so it will be to my dying day. Charming, clever, charming, clever. And nothing more. And when I die, my friends will walk by my grave, realize so-and-so, a good writer, but Turgenev was better. It's funny, but before you came in, I was thinking, if I were to give it all up one day, what would I do instead? I've never freely admitted this before, but to you here in the theater tonight, I think I'd like to say what it is I'd most like to do with my life. Ever since I was a child, I always, excuse me a moment, a thought just occurred to me. An idea for a short story. Yes, it was by mentioning the theater that sparked me. What were we talking about a moment ago? No matter, my thoughts are consumed with this new story. See if this appeals to you. It starts in a theater. It starts on the opening night of the new season. It starts with the arrival of all those dear and devoted patrons of the office, who edged their way into the grand salon, commenting on how this one looks and how that one is dressed, scarcely knowing what play they're about to see that evening. With the exception of one man, Ivan Ilyich Cherekov. If Ivan Ilyich Cherekov, a civil servant, a clerk in the public parks, had any passion in life at all, it was the theater. He certainly had hopes and ambitions for that office, and had dedicated his life to hard work, zeal, and patience. Still, he would not deny himself his one great pleasure. So he purchased 2 tickets in the very best section for the opening night's performance of Rostov's The Bearded Countess. As fortunately happened, into the theater that night came his respected superior, General Mikhail Brasilev, Minister of Public Parks himself.
Good evening, General.
What? Oh, yes, good evening.
Permit me, sir. I am Cherekov, Ivan Ilyich. This is a great honor for me, sir.
Yes?
Like yourself, dear General, I too serve the Minister of Public Parks. That is to say, I serve you, who is indeed himself the Minister of Public Parks. I am the Assistant Chief Clerk in the Department of Trees and Bushes.
Ah, yes, keep up the good work. Lovely trees and bushes this year. Very nice.
My wife would like very much to say hello. This is she, my wife, Madam Cherekov.
How do you do?
My pleasure.
My pleasure, General.
Madam Brasilev, my wife, Madam Cherekov.
How do you do, Madam Brasilev? How do you do? I just had the pleasure of meeting your husband.
And I am my wife's husband. I just met him last night.
Shh. Sorry, I apologize.
I hope you enjoy the play, dear General.
I will, if I can watch it.
Feeling quite pleased with himself for having made the most of this golden opportunity, Ivan Ilyich Cherdakov sat back to enjoy the bearded countess. He was no longer a stranger to the Minister of Public Parks. They had become, if one wanted to be generous about the matter, familiar with each other. And then, quite suddenly, without any warning, like a bolt from a gray thundering sky, Ivan Ilyich Cherdakov reared his head back and...
Achoo! Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I'm so terribly sorry.
Never mind, it's all right.
All right, it's most certainly not all right. It was unpardonable. It was monstrous of me.
You make too much of the matter. Let it rest.
Let it rest. How can I let it rest? It was inexcusable. Permit me to wipe your neck, Your General. The least I can do.
Leave it be. It's all right, I say.
But I splattered you, sir. Your complete head is splattered. It was an accident, I assure you, but it's disgusting.
Sorry. Terribly sorry.
The thing is, Your Excellency, it came completely without warning. It was out of my nose before I could stifle it. There was not a cold enough such a worry. Probably a particle of dust in the nostrils.
But try as he might, Cherdakov could not put the incident out of his mind. The sneeze, no more than an innocent anatomical accident, grew out of all proportions in his mind, until it resembled the angry roar of a cannon aimed squarely at the enemy cannon. He played the incident back in his mind, slowing the procedure down, so he could view again in horror the infants.
Charming.
Yes, charming.
Simply charming. Wasn't it charming, my dear?
I found it utterly charming.
I was completely charmed by it.
Who's tapping me? Somebody's tapping me. Who's that tapping?
Stand back here. It's the sneezer.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. I'm all sneezed out. I was just concerned about your going into the night air with a damp head.
Oh, that. It's a mere trifle, mere faux pas. Forget about the young man. Amusing play, don't you think? Did you find it amusing?
Amusing! Oh! My goodness, yes! Ha ha! So true! Ha ha! I haven't laughed as much in years! Ha ha ha!
Which part interests you the most?
The sneeze. When I sneezed on you, it was inexcusable, sir.
Forget about the young man. Come, my dear. It looks like rain. I don't want to get my head wet. Again.
Let people sneeze on you here. You are not to be sneezed at.
I'm ruined. Ruined! They'll let me fired from trees and bushes. They'll send me down to branches and twigs!
Come, Ivan.
What?
You mustn't let it concern you. It was just a harmless little sneeze. The General's probably forgotten about it already.
You really think so?
No! I'm scared, Ivan!
So they walked home in despair.
Perhaps I should send him a gift. Some nice Turkish towels, maybe.
Cherdakov's once promising career had literally been blown away.
Why did this happen to me? Why did I go to the theater at all? Why didn't I sit on the balcony with the people of our own class? They love sneezing on each other.
Come to bed, Ivan.
Maybe I should call upon the General again and explain matters, but this time in such a charming, honest, and self-effacing manner, you have no choice but to forgive me.
Maybe it's best not to remind him, Ivan.
No. If I ever expect to become a gentleman, I must behave like one.
And so the morning came. It so happened today was the day the General listened to petitions, and since there were 50 or 60 petitions ahead of Cherdakov, he waited from morning till late afternoon.
Next!
Oh, I'm not next, Your Excellency. I'm last.
Very well then. Last!
That's me, sir!
What is your petition?
Oh, I have no petition, sir. I'm not a petitioner.
then you waste my time.
Do you not recognize me, sir? We met last night under rather explosive circumstances. I'm the splatterer.
The what?
The sneezer? The one who sneezed?
The sneezing splatterer.
Indeed? What is it you want now? The Gesundheit?
No, Excellency, your forgiveness. I just wanted to point out that there was no political or antisocial motivation behind that sneeze. It was a nonpartisan and non-violent act of God. I curse the day the protuberance formed itself on my face. It's a hateful nose, sir. I should not be held responsible for its indiscretions. Punish that which committed the crime, but absolve the innocent body behind it. Exile my nose. But forgive me, your kindship. Forgive me.
My dear young man, I'm not angry with your nose. I'm simply too busy for your nasal problems now. I suggest you go home, take a hot bath, or a cold one. Take something, but don't ever bother me with this silly business again. Gibber, gibber, that's all I hear all day. Gibber, gibber!
Thank you, Your Excellency! God bless you, and your wife, and your household. May your days be sweet, and may your nights be better than your days.
Feeling quite pleased with himself for having made the most of this golden opportunity, he sat back and cried in joy.
Oh, may the birds sing in the morning at your window, and may the coffee in your cup be strong and hot.
The weight of the burden that was lifted was inestimable.
I worship the chair that you sit on, and the uniform that you wear that sits on the chair that I worship.
He went home, singing and whistling like a lark. Life was surely a joy, a marvel, a heavenly paradise.
And yet,
And yet, when he arrived home, he began to think.
have I been the butt of a cruel and thoughtless joke?
Had the minister toyed with him?
If he had no question punishing me so unmercifully, why did he torment me so unmercifully?
If the sneeze meant so little to the minister, why did he deliberately cause Tretyakov to writhe in his bed?
To twist in agony the entire night.
Tretyakov was furious.
I am furious!
He went home, foaming and fuming, pacing the night through, calling out to his wife, Sonia!
Sonia! I have been humiliated!
You? Who would humiliate you, Yvonne? You're such a kind and generous person.
Who? I'll tell you who. General Brasselhoff, the Minister of Public Parks.
What did he do?
The swine. I was humiliated in such a subtle fashion it was almost indiscernible. The man's cunning is equal only to his cruelty. He practically forced me to come to his office and grovel and beg on my knees. I was reduced to a gibbering idiot.
You were that reduced?
I should go to him and tell him what I think of it. The world must be made safe, so that men of all nations and creeds, regardless of color or religion, may be free to sneeze upon their superiors. It is he who will be humiliated by I.
And so the next morning, Tretyakov came to humiliate Eve.
Last. Well,
Well, you say? Do you not recognize me, Excellency? Look at my face. Yes, you are quite correct. It is I, once again!
it is you once again who...
Charnikov, Excellency! I have returned, having taken neither a hot bath nor a cold one!
Who let this filthy man in? What is it you want?
What is it? What is it, you ask? You sit there behind your desk and ask, what is it? You sit there in your lofty position as General and Minister of Public Parks, a member in high standing among the upper class, and ask me, a lowly civil servant, what is it? You sit there with full knowledge that there is no equality in this life, that there are those of us that serve and that are served, those of us that obey and those that are obeyed, those of us that bow and those that are bowed to, that in this life certain events take place that cause some of us to be humiliated and those that are the cause of that humiliation, and still you ask, what is it?
What is it? Don't stand there gibbering like an idiot. What is it you want?
I'll tell you what I want! I wanted to apologize again for sneezing. Actually, I assure you.
Out! Out, you fool! line of vision again, I will have you exiled permanently. What is your name? Chernikov! You transplanter! You maggot! You insect! You are lower than insect! You're second cousin to cockroach! You are son-in-law of bedbug! You are nephew of ringworm! You are nothing! You hear me? Nothing! 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 Ah!
At that moment, something broke loose inside of Chernikov. Something so deep and vital, so organic, that the damage that was dealt seemed irreparable. Something drained from him that can only be described as the very life force itself. The matter was done with, for once, for all, forever. What happened next was quite simple. Ivan Ilyich Chernikov arrived at home, removed his coat, lay down on the sofa, and died. But wait! For those of us who are offended by life's cruelty, there is an alternate ending. Ivan Ilyich Chernikov arrived at home, removed his coat, laid down on the sofa, and inherited 5 million rubles. There's not much point to it, but it is uplifting. I assure you, it's not my intention to paint life any harsher than it is. But some of us are indeed trapped. Witness the predicament of a young governess who takes care of and educates the children of a well-to-do family.
Julia!
Trapped, indeed.
Julia!
Yes, madam?
Look at me, child. Pick your head up. I like to see your eyes when I speak to you.
Yes, madam.
And how are the children coming along with their French lessons?
They're very bright children, madam.
Eyes up. They're very bright, you say? Well, why not? And mathematics? They're doing well in mathematics, I assume.
Yes, madam, especially Vanya.
Certainly, I knew it. I excelled in mathematics. He gets that from his mother. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, madam.
Head up. That's it. Don't be afraid to look people in the eyes, my dear. If you think of yourself as inferior, that's exactly how people will treat you.
Yes, ma'am.
Quiet girl, aren't you? Now then, let's settle our accounts. I imagine you must need money, although you never asked me for it yourself. Let's see now. We agreed on 30 rubles a month.
Yes, ma'am. We agreed on 40, ma'am.
No, 30. I made a note of it. I always pay my governess 30. Who told you 40?
You did, ma'am. I spoke to no one else concerning money.
Impossible. Maybe you thought you heard 40 when I said 30. If you kept your head up, that would never happen. Look at me again and I'll say it clearly. 30 rubles a month.
If you say so, ma'am.
Settled. 30 month it is. Now then, you've been here 2 months exactly?
2 months and 5 days.
No, exactly 2 months. I made a note of it. You should keep the books the way I do so there wouldn't be these discrepancies. Now then, we have 2 months at 30 rubles a month comes to 60 rubles, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Subtract 9 Sundays. We did agree on subtract Sundays, didn't we?
No, ma'am.
Eyes. Eyes. Certainly we did. I always subtract Sundays. Didn't you recall when I said we'll subtract Sundays?
No, ma'am.
Think.
No, ma'am.
You weren't thinking. Your eyes were wandering. Look straight to my face and look hard. Do you remember now?
Yes, ma'am.
I can hear you, Julia.
Yes, ma'am.
Settled. Good. I'm sure you remember. Plus 3 holidays.
2, ma'am. Christmas and New Year's.
And your birthday, that's 3.
I worked on my birthday, ma'am.
You did? Well, there was no need to. My governess never worked on their birthdays.
But I did work, ma'am.
But that's not the question, Julia. We're discussing financial matters. I will, however, only count 2 holidays, if you insist. Do you insist?
I did work, ma'am.
Then you do insist.
No, ma'am.
Very well. That's 3 holidays. Therefore, we take off 12 rubles. Now then, 3 days little Kolya was sick and there was no lesson?
But I gave lessons to Vanya.
True, but I gave you to teach 2 children, not 1. Shall I pay you in full for only doing half of the work?
No, ma'am.
So will deduct it. Now then, 3 days you had a toothache and my husband gave you permission not to work after lunch.
After 4. I worked until 4.
But I have here, did not work after lunch. We have lunch at 1 and our finish at 2, not at 4, correct?
Yes, ma'am,
But that's another 7 rubles. 7 and 12 is 19. Subtract, that leaves 41 rubles, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
On January 4th, you broke a teacup and a saucer, is that true?
Just the saucer, ma'am.
What good is a teacup without a saucer? That's 2 rubles. The saucer was an heirloom, it cost much more. But I'm used to taking losses, I'll let it go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now then, on January 9th, little Kolya climbed a tree and tore his jacket.
I forbid him to do so, ma'am.
But he didn't listen, did he? That's 10 rubles. January 14th, Vanya's shoes were stolen.
By the maid, ma'am. You discharged her yourself.
But you get paid good money to watch everything. I explained that in our first meeting. Perhaps you weren't listening that day, Julia, or was your head wandering in the clouds?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, your head was wandering in the clouds.
No, I was listening.
Good girl. That's another 5 rubles. Ah, yes. January 16th, I gave you 10 rubles. You didn't. But I made a note of it. Why would I make a note of it if I didn't give it to you?
I don't know, ma'am.
That's not a satisfactory answer, Julia. Why would I make a note of giving you 10 rubles if I did not in fact give it to you? No answer? Then I must give it to you, mustn't I?
If you say so, ma'am.
Well, certainly I say so. That's the point of this little talk, just to clear this matter up. We'll take 27 from 41, that leaves 14, correct?
Yes,
What's this? Tears? Are you crying? Has something made you unhappy? It pains me to see you like this, Julia. I'm so sensitive to tears. What is it?
only once since I've been here have I ever been given any money, and that was by your husband. On my birthday, he gave me 3 rubles.
Really? Well, there's no note of it in my book. I'll put it down now. Thank you for telling me. Always lax with my accounts. That's 3 rubles. Always shortchanging myself. Therefore, we take off 3, 14, that leaves 11. Do you wish to check my figures?
There's no need to, ma'am.
Then we're all settled. Here's your salary for the 2 months you've been here, dear. 11 rubles. Yes. Count it.
There's no need to, ma'am.
Come, come. Let's keep the record straight. Count it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's only 10, ma'am.
Are you sure? You possibly dropped one. Look in the floor, see if it's there.
I didn't drop any, ma'am. I'm quite sure.
Well, it's not in here in my book. It's not here on my desk, and I know I give you 11 rubles. Look on the floor.
It's all right, ma'am. 10 rubles will be just fine.
We'll keep the 10 for now. If we don't find it later on the floor, we'll discuss it again next month.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You're very kind, ma'am.
Julia! Why did you thank me?
For the money, ma'am.
For the money. But don't you realize what I've done? I've cheated you. Robbed you. I have no notes in my book. I made up whatever comes into my mind instead of the entire 80 rubles which I owe you. I only gave you 10. I've actually stolen from you. And yet you still thank me? Why?
In the other places that I worked, they didn't give me anything. at all.
Well, they cheated you even worse than I did. I was playing a little joke on you just to teach you a lesson. That you're much too trusting in this world, and that's very dangerous. I will, however, give you the entire 80 rubles. The rest are in this bag. Here. Take it.
As you wish, ma'am.
Julia! Is it possible to be so spineless? Why don't you protest? Why don't you speak up? Why don't you cry out against this cruel and unjust treatment? Is it possible to be so guileless, so innocent? Such a pardon me for being so blunt, but such a simpleton?
Yes, ma'am. It's possible. For a time.
But wait! For those again who are offended by life's cruelty, there is an alternate ending. Julia was so enraged by such cruel and unjust treatment that she quit a job on the spot, went back home to her poor parents, where she inherited 5 million rubles. It is my intention someday to write 37 short stories, all with that same ending. I do love it so. You know, it has been said that humankind is the only creature that is capable of laughter. And it is that faculty that sets us apart from the lower forms of life. Yet one must question this theory when we examine some of the objects of our laughter. For example, pain. Pain, needless to say, is no laughing matter. Unless, of course, it's someone else who is doing the suffering. Why the sight of a man that throws an excruciating agony from an abscessed tooth that has enlarged his jaw to the size of an orange is funny? I couldn't tell you. It's not funny. Not in the least. But in the village of Astemko, where they have very little access to entertainment, a man with a toothache can tickle their ribs for weeks. Certainly, Sergei von Miglasov, the sexy, saw nothing humorous about it. But as he passed through town on his way to the hospital, his moans and groans won him more chuckles than sympathetic remarks. Wouldn't they find it even more amusing to know that the good doctor that normally performed such extractions on angry teeth was away at the wedding of his daughter, and the task fell to his assistant, Kuryatin, an eager medical student, if, alas, poor Sexton, an inexperienced one. Oh! 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 Oh!
Greetings, Father. What brings you here?
The pain! It's unbearable. It's beyond unbearable. It's unendurable.
Where exactly is the pain?
Where isn't it? Everywhere! It's not just the tooth, it's the whole side of my mouth.
How long have you had this agony?
10 years!
10 years?
Well, since yesterday morning, it seems like 10 years. I must have sinned terribly to deserve this. God must have dropped all her omnipresence to punish me this way. Where's the doctor?
The doctor is away on personal business. He left the care of all of his patients, my young, capable hands.
But are you a doctor?
In every way except a degree, I am a doctor to be.
Then I am a patient to be. Goodbye.
Wait. My dear Sex, I can assure you, the only thing that keeps me from being called a doctor is the formality of an examination. I am skilled, just not titled. Please, Father, sit in the chair. I beg you for this opportunity. Sit.
Heaven help me today. Even sitting hurts.
No doubt the nerves are inflamed. Once removed, the pain will cease to be.
You're going to remove the nerves?
The tooth that's connected to the nerve. It's all a simple matter of surgery.
Wait.
Let's see what we have here.
I pray for you. I pray to the saints, our dear Lord above. Be gentle with me. Spare me pain.
My dear Sexton, there is no pain came to the part. We are living in an age of advanced science. In skilled hands, there is no longer need for pain. If it's gentleness you want, it's gentleness you'll have. Now please, open up. Come, open your mouth. My dear Sexton, inexperienced as I am, I know it's essential, it's practically mandatory for all work concerning the mouth to have it open first. It'd be logical for me to pull your tooth out from the outside, wouldn't it? Not just the lips, the entire mouth. I don't want to brush your teeth. I want to examine them. Now open up.
Will you be gentle?
Didn't I promise you I would?
As a child, I was promised many things that I never got.
Dear Sexton, there's no pain connected to this part. It is merely an examination to see what must be done, where, and how. All right? Now then, let's have... Ah, yes, there's the ugly little fellow. You're a nasty one, aren't you?
Stop talking to it! Don't make friends with it! Pull it out!
Don't rush me. I'm evaluating. Your tooth has a hole in it big enough to drive a horse and carriage through.
What is it?
It's even disgusting to look at, but if this is going to be my profession, I'll need to get used to these sorts of things. Now then, I'm going to try something.
Be gentle.
As if I were your own mother.
My mother didn't like me.
Gentler. All I'm going to do is gently blow on your tooth, all right? I have some information for you. The nerve is exposed.
Is this how far science has advanced? Blowing on teeth?
The results are still inconclusive. So much more work must be done in the field, and so much depends on the doctor's breath. Here we are.
What are you gonna do with that?
The tooth has to be pulled. It's all a simple matter of surgery. The tooth will be out quicker than you can spit.
Oh, merciful God.
Surgery is nothing. It's all a matter of a firm hand. All right?
I pray for you. May the Lord enlighten your soul. May He give you health and quickness. Mostly quickness. Amen.
Now then, this tooth will come out easy enough. Some teeth give you trouble, I admit, but that's only if the roots are deep. I hope you prayed for shallow roots. All right, all right. Don't do that. Let go, I say. You've got my hand again. If I'm going to pull your tooth, I need my hand. Now let go. If you don't let go of my hand, I'm going to take these forceps and pull your fingers out. Now then, sit still. The important thing is not to twitch. If you twitch, we don't have to break the crowd. Be still! Don't twitch! I'll have trouble with your tooth! No, you! Stay there. On the count of 3, I'll pull out your tooth. Alright. 1, 2, 3! I did it! I pulled it out! My first tooth!
You pulled it out all right. I hope they pull you the next word like this.
Oh. Oh. I knew it. The crown broke. What a mess this is going to be. I told you not to twitch.
You butcher! You carpenter! You're God's vengeance for my sins. Compared to you, the toothache was a joy.
You ignorant peasant. We've got unfinished business. Now get back there.
Keep your fingers away from me, sorcerer. If you put your fingers in my mouth, it'll be the first solid food I have all week.
The only thing harder than the roots in your mouth are the brains in your head. Get back. back there! You know what? I'll make you stay. You're not leaving until the truth is out. It is a matter of professional pride! Amen!
I give up.
I failed in my duty.
Come, my son. Let's pray for a miracle. To our dear Lord in heaven,
Dear God above,
I plead for this good doctor.
I pray for this poor creature.
Keep his hand steady.
Keep his mouth open.
Don't let him falter.
Don't let him bite me.
Hail Mary!
Hail Mary!
Hail Mary!
Hail Mary!
Hail Mary!
Hail Mary!
Peter Semyonich was the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. He was successful with all women for that matter, but there was a special challenge to beautiful women married to prominent, rich, successful husbands. I could never do him justice. Let him tell you in his own words. If I may say so myself, I'm the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. I say this not boastfully, but as a matter of record. The staggering figures speak for themselves. For those men interested in playing this highly satisfying, but often dangerous game, I urge you, take out pen and paper, take notes. I'm going to explain my methods. In defense, married women may do likewise, but it will do them little good if they happen to be the chosen victim. My method has never failed. Now then, there are 3 vital characteristics needed. They are patience, and still more patience. For those who do not have the strength to wait to persist, I urge you, take up rowing, bicycling perhaps. Seducing isn't for you. Now then, in order to seduce a man's wife, you must, I repeat must, stay as far away from her as possible. Very practically, no attention at all. Ignore her if you must. We will get to her through the husband. As it happens, you are in for a practical demonstration. I'm madly and deeply in love this week. My heart pounds with excitement, knowing she will pass through this very garden in a few moments with her husband. Every fiber of my being tells me to throw my arms around her with all the passion in my heart. Observe how a master works. I shall be cool, almost to the point of freedom. My heart of hearts and spouse approaches.
Peter Semyonich, fancy meeting you here.
Dear Nikolai, how good to see you again. Notice how I'm not looking at her.
You're looking gay, you dead gay devil, you. Have you met my wife, Irina? Of course I have. You sit next to her at the Vesnovs. Irina, I don't know what this charmer told you, but I must warn you that he's a scoundrel, a notorious bachelor, an exceptional swordsman. That's the best I can say for you, Peter.
You exaggerate, Niki. Madame, good to see you again.
We were just taking a stroll. If you're not busy, why don't you walk with us?
It's very kind of you, Nikolaevich, but as a matter of fact, I'm riveted to the spot. A new romance has entered my life. My legs are like pillars of granite. Until she is out of my sight, I'll be incapable of movement. Too much, do you think? As I said, be patient.
Fantastic. You never cease to amaze me. Pretty, I suppose?
I suppose magnificent. Suppose glorious, and you'll suppose correctly.
Any complications?
As usual, my husband. I'm afraid my cause looks hopeless.
Nonsense, Peter. I'm placing my money on you. And you know I never make a bet unless I'm sure of winning. Well, we're up. Good hunting, my boy. Good hunting.
Madame, I'm sometimes awed by the work of a true professional. Did you notice our eyes barely met? We exchanged hardly a word, and yet how much she knows of me already. A, I'm a popular bachelor. B, a man in love, always titillating to romantic women. C, a gifted sportsman. A nice contrast to a sedentary husband. And D, and this is most important, a dangerous man with the ladies. Quite frankly, at this point, she must be disgusted by me. A, because I'm a braggart and a scoundrel. B, because I'm shamelessly frank as to my intentions. And C, because she thinks she's not the one I'm interested in. Giving up, I'm overcome by my own deviousness. By the way, I'm taking all this down. It gets tricky from here on in. Now then, next step, hypnosis. Not hypnosis with your eyes, but with the poison of your tongue. Much like a venomous snake moving in for the kill. What's more, the best channel is the husband himself. Witness, as I accidentally run into him one day at the club.
Peter, you're looking glum. I take it your pursuit isn't going well.
It's that obvious, Sneaky. I'm doomed. I haven't seen her since I last met you and your dear wife at the park. I sleep little and eat less. All my shirt collars have been taken in half an inch. Why do I waste my valuable youth chasing a woman I can never truly call my own? How I hate.
Me? What's that about me that you want to be?
Why, a marriage, of course. You're a charming woman, wife. Let me tell you.
Really? What's fascinates you so?
The grace, the quiet charm, everything. Mostly it's the way she looks at you. Oh, if only someone would look at me like that. With such loving, adoring eyes. I must send a quiver through your whole body.
Quivers? No, not really.
A tingle, perhaps? Tell me you don't tingle when she looks at you.
Of course, by all means, I tingle all the time.
She's an ideal woman. Leave that from a lonely bachelor and be glad they give you a wife like that.
Perhaps fate will be as kind to you.
That's what I'm counting on. Good heavens, I'm making my doctor's appointment.
Oh, what's he treating you for?
I've been calling her. You say hello to extraordinary wife, but I urge you not to repeat our conversations. Might embarrass her fragile sensitivities. Oh, where is the woman for me? I know where. The question is, how soon will she be mine? There's still work to be done, but not by me. That's false to my aid and accomplice. Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich today.
Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich today. Peter Semyonich, the bachelor. We met him in the gardens last week. The attractive fellow, you remember.
I remember what a loathsome man he is.
You may not think so when you hear what he had to say about you.
Nothing that braggart would have to say would interest me.
He was enraptured by your grace and your quiet charm. He seemed to think that you were capable of loving a man in some extraordinary way. Something about your eyes and the way you looked so adoringly. He certainly had a lot to say about you. He went on and on. Well, good night, my dear.
Good night. What else?
Hmm?
What else did he have to say about me?
Peter?
Whatever that loathsome man's name is. What else did Peter Semyonich say about me?
Well, that's pretty much it, what I told you.
But you said he went on and on.
He did.
But you stopped. If he went on and on, don't stop. Either go on and on, or let's go to bed.
Well, he said how much he envied me, how much he wished he had someone to look at him the way you look at me.
How does he know how I look at you?
Well, that day in the gardens, he must have been looking at you when you were looking at me. It sent a tingle through my whole body.
The way I looked at you.
Exactly, my precious.
But you were looking at him, so you couldn't have seen how I was looking at you. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the flowers because he made me nervous the way he kept avoiding looking at me. He must have tingles for some other reason.
It's getting rather confusing. The point is, he found you fascinating. I thought this would please you.
Well, it doesn't. I'd rather you didn't tell me such stories. Are you planning on seeing him again soon?
Yes, tomorrow for lunch.
Well, I'd rather not be discussed at lunch. Tell him that! And at dinner, you can tell me what he said. Good night, Nicky.
Good night, my angel.
Good night, my love. Spellbound by my own powers. I've succeeded in not only piquing her interest, but causing her heart to flutter at the very mention of my name. The same man she thought loathsome not 2 minutes ago. All this was accomplished, mind you, while I was at home taking a pine-scented bath. Luncheon the next day was not only nourishing, but productive. Oh, by the way, old man, I ran into Nekrasov yesterday, the artist. It seems he's been commissioned by some wealthy prince to paint the head of a typical Russian beauty. He asked me to look for a model for him. I told him I knew just the woman, but I didn't dare ask him myself. What do you think of asking your wife?
Asking my wife what?
To be the model, of course. That lovely head of hers. Be a damn shame if that exquisite face missed the chance to be immortalized for all the world.
For all the world.
Don't you discuss it with her?
That's a great idea. I'll discuss it with her. So, I said I'd discuss it with you. What do you think?
I think it's nonsense. How did he put it to you? I mean, did he actually say a typical Russian beauty?
Precisely, and that it would be a damn shame if that exquisite face missed the chance for the whole world to become immortalized. That's exactly what he said.
He gets carried away by his own voice. Those exact words, you didn't leave anything out.
Oh yes, he said, and that lovely face. I left out, and that lovely face. He said that a number of times, I think, yes.
He does go on and on, doesn't he? How many times did he say it? Once, twice, what?
Let me think, it's hard to remember.
It's not important, but in the future I'd wish you'd write these things down.
Have you seen me near? Have you heard me speak to her? Has any correspondence passed between us? No, my dear pupils, and yet how she hangs onto my every word uttered by a husband. Also, as you did, we apply this treatment for 2 to 3 weeks. The resistance is weakening, weakening, weakening.
I think his mind is elsewhere, if you ask me. On some woman,
What
from the
woman?
looks of him.
Oh, has he mentioned any woman in particular?
Oh no, he's too discreet for that. He'll protect her good name at any cost. Instead, he speaks of you all day. Poor fool, I'm beginning to feel sorry for him.
It's really none of our concern, Nikki. Did you ask him to dinner tomorrow?
He's busy.
The day after then?
Busy?
Next week, next month? When? Doesn't the man gate?
No, hey, he says he's involved in a very important project, and that'll be months before we can see him. He did say that with patience and persistence, good things will come to him. By the way, he thinks you should go on the stage.
The stage? Me? On the stage? Why in heaven's name?
Well, he said, I don't want to misquote him.
No, try to get it as accurately as possible.
Let's see here. My goodness, I have so many notes. Ah, yes. He said, with such an attractive appearance, such intelligence, sensitiveness, it's a sin for her to be just a housewife.
Oh dear, he said that?
And that ordinary demands don't exist for such women.
Nikki, I don't think I want to hear any more.
Natures like that should not be bound by time and space.
Nikki, I don't think I want to hear any more.
And then he said, if I weren't so busy, I'd take her away from you.
He said that?
Yeah, right there.
Nikki, what did you say to him? It's important I know exactly what you said.
Well, I said, then take her, then I'm not going to fight a duel over her.
Nikki, you mustn't discuss me with him anymore. I beg of you not to mention my name ever again.
But I don't, my love. He's the one who always brings up this subject. He's actually accused me of not understanding you. He shouted at me, she's an exceptional creature, strong, seeking a way out. If I were Turgenev, I would put her in a novel. The Passionate Angel, I would call it. The man is weird, definitely weird.
He's delivering my love letters, sealing them with kisses, and calls me weird. Not ask you. So let's see what we have so far. The poor woman is definitely consumed with a passion to meet me. She is sure I am the only man in the world who truly understands her. Her yawning, disinterested husband transmits my remarks, but it is my voice she hears, my words that sing in her heart. The sweet poison is doing its work. I'm relentless. There's no room for mercy in the seducing business. Observe, before the conclusion, how deftly the final stroke is administered. Faint-hearted, I urge you, look away.
No, Nikki. I don't want to hear not another word from him, nothing.
But that's exactly what he told me. He begged me to tell you nothing. He said he knew because of your sweet, sympathetic nature that it would worry you to hear someone else's distress.
He's in distress?
Worse, he's gloomy, morose, morbid, in the depths of despair.
Oh no, but why? What's wrong with him?
Loneliness. He has no relatives, no true friends, not a soul who understands him.
But doesn't he know we understand him perfectly? Doesn't he know how much we appreciate him, commune with him daily? Doesn't he know how much we yearn to be with him? You and I?
I tried to make that clear. I again begged him to come home to dinner with us, but he said he can't face people. He's He's so depressed he just stays at home. He just paces in the public garden where we met him every night.
What time?
Between 8 and 9. By the way, we were invited to the Voskovics for dinner tomorrow. Is 8 all right for you?
No. I'm visiting Aunt Sophia tomorrow. She's ill. I'll be there at 9. Or a little after.
Please, no applause. I couldn't have done it alone. I share that honor with my good friend and collaborator, her husband. He wooed her so successfully there is no carriage fast enough for her to be in my arms. Observe. Now, for the finale, you will understand if I ask you to busy yourselves with your programs or such. These next few moments are private, and I am, after all, a gentleman.
My dear, sweet dear, and last I can speak the words I longed.
No! Not a word. Not a sound. Please. I couldn't bear it. Not until you've heard what's in my heart. For weeks now, I've been a torment. You've used my husband as a clever and devious device to arouse my passions, which I freely admit have been lying dormant these past 7 years. Whether you are sincere or not, you have awakened me in desires and longings I've never dreamt were possible. You appeal to my vanity, and I succumb. You bestir my thoughts of unfulfilled pleasures, and I weaken. You attack my utter vulnerability, and I surrender. I am here, Peter Semyonich, if you want me. But let me add this. I love my husband dearly. He's not a passionate man, nor even remotely romantic. Our life together neither reaches the heights of ecstasy, nor the depths of anguish. We have an even marriage, moderate and comfortable, and accepting these conditions and the full measures of his devoted love, I have been happy. I come to you now knowing that once you take me into your arms, my marriage, my life with Nikki will be destroyed for all of time. I'm too weak, too selfish to make this choice. I rely on your strength of character. Whichever you choose will make me both miserable and eternally grateful. I beg of you not to use me as an amusement, although, even with that knowledge, I would not refuse you. I am yours to do as you will, Peter Semyonich. If you want me, open your arms now and I will come to you. But if you love me, turn your back and I will leave and never see or speak to you again. The choice, my dearest, sweetest love of my life, is yours. I await your decision. God bless you, Peter Semyonich. I hope life brings you the happiness that you've just brought to me.
Peter Semyonich, the former seducer of other men's wives, that day on focused his attentions on single, unmarried women only. Until one day the perfect girl came along, and the confirmed bachelor married at last. He is today a completely happy man, except on those occasions when some dashing young officer tells him how attractive he finds his lovely young wife.